How's it going, buckos? Got some more clips to check out. Here we go.
No.
And some other supporting guys, and then Tom Cruise walks in, and even those guys are like, "Whoa!" And he's super stoked to be there, you know, just like, "Yeah, oh, boom," you know, like he's like, and so he comes over and he sits next to me, and I think he had been briefed on some of the supporting guys, but he was like trying to place me, you know. So he sat down next to me. He's like, I love your work. And I went, oh, thanks. I love your work too, Tom Cruise. You know, like, thanks. And I go, yeah, you know, I'm friends with Judd Apatow and Seth Rogen, and they went to your house. He went, yes. They did come to my house. And I said, Seth Rogen was like, you know, it was amazing. He has like a bike track in his backyard. It's phenomenal. And I did a Seth Rogen impression, and it was like I did a magic trick. Tom Cruise was like, yeah. Wow. And he points to me. And he pointed at me and he goes, you do impressions and you're on Saturday Night Live. And I went, It was like he won a game show. He was like, yeah, Tom. At the premiere, he came up to me and he goes, can you believe we were in that movie? And I was like, I can believe you were in that movie. I was like, you're Tom Cruise. I worked on Collateral Damage.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sure.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger. Who doesn't love Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, it's crazy. We were in the jungle, like where they shot like Predator, like in Mexico, and Arnold just hung out with no shirt on, like in boxers, like smoking a cigar, like playing chess. Come on. And he caught on to it, you know, and he was like, what is that?
You kind of popped right away because you did an Al Pacino impression.
Yeah.
And everybody in our office was talking about it, you know, on Monday. They're like, that guy, that's really funny. Did you study a lot of Pacino's films to get him down? How did you come to that impression?
No. I watched him on the his acceptance speech on the Emmys for Angels in America.
That's the only time. That's the only part you studied, yeah.
Yeah, I was watching that, and he was kind of like just totally into like the peripheral and like weird things. So he was like, "Oh wow, we got some lights, a couple of cameras. That's nice. Yeah. All right." And I did Pacino. It was kind of weird, interviewing his new maid staff. It's like, if I walk into this kitchen and I see a cantaloupe on that table, I will lose my mind.
That clip was kind of messed up, but I mean, you guys seen his face change. I know I think there are some other ones. There's a longer clip like that, but I know there's another guy that could do that too. That was on a talk show. He was doing like Eddie Murphy and Kevin Hart and some other guys I don't remember. But do you think that is shape shifting, or do you think it's like the media using AI? I don't know. I say, you know, there are shapeshifters in Hollywood, which, you know, shapeshifters would be like Nephilim or fallen angels. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, but what do you think? Here, I'm gonna go ahead and click the next clip.
We're going to talk about this. I went to Colorado Springs, Colorado about a couple months ago with some people, and the guide, we went on like a electric bike ride through the mountains, and the guide literally told us, yeah, that mountain right there, they hollowed it out and put like they hollowed it out and put stuff in it.
This video is completely unrelated to Colorado. It was a promo video about the Giants Causeway in Ireland.
Well, hello from the Giant's Causeway on the north coast of Northern Ireland, where we have some incredible breaking news for you today. There have been unconfirmed reports that the giant Finn McCool has gone into winter hibernation. Now, earlier today, one second. Oh, well, this is exciting. Earlier today, we're being told tourists and National Trust rangers saw the legendary Finn disappear into a magical doorway within the rock face here at the Giant's Causeway. Right, I believe we have some footage that has been taken on a mobile phone. Let's have a look at it.
Look, look.
Well, that footage is absolutely incredible, isn't it? Well, earlier today, tourists, historians, geologists, architects and giant experts all congregated.
This is the Hollow Cheyenne Mountain Complex in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
At the height of the Cold War, Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado Springs was chosen as a perfect location for a nuclear blast-proof command and control center to defend against long-range Soviet bombers. Up until 2006, it was the command center for NORAD, or North American Aerospace Defense Command, and the United States Northern Command, protecting America and Canada from threats in both the sky and space. Since relocating 15 miles away to Peterson Space Force Base, the Cheyenne Mountain complex remains a backup command center, sharing its granite mountain interior with more than a dozen government and Department of Defense departments, some so secret they can't be named. Central to the command center is the North Warning System, an array of short and long-range radars in northern Canada, Alaska and elsewhere that recently helped track the Chinese spy balloon incidents. Work is underway to upgrade detection systems to reflect increasing multi-domain threats. So could there be a Stargate inside? Probably not, but a hollowed-out mountain is sure to keep anyone with an active imagination wondering. Stuart Rumble, Forces News.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of underground tunnels and like mountains that have, secret bases or just, whatever. I think they're repurposed, though. I think they've been there for a very long time, and the government just takes over. I think they do a lot of satanic stuff in those places, especially underground. I think there's secret ways in through the mountains or through the woods. In the woods, I think there's secret doors. I know there's been other videos like that. And yeah, I think they're doing a lot of bad stuff. And eventually, I hope enough, pray enough people catch on, and maybe we can stop all the bad stuff they're doing.
Let's discuss. So, according to Ancestry.com, Bill and Melinda Gates actually died in 2013. So, if you see here, it says that Bill Gates, William Bill Henry Gates, died on the 29th of July 2013, and then Melinda died after July 2013. Now, I'm not saying I believe this, but a lot of people online speculate that this is correct information, that Bill and Melinda died in 2013 and they were cloned, or else an imposter was put into their place. You know how weird shiz happens with the elite? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and like and follow for more.
Yeah, I think, I don't know about this article, but I do think celebrities fake their death a lot of times. I also think that some celebrities, when they pass, it's because they're in their little secret societies, satanic secret societies, and sometimes it's just their turn. They think they're gods, so, if they pass, they think they're going to go into godhood type of stuff. It's crazy.
challenges everything we think we know about human history. Long ago, when our ancestors were taking their first steps towards civilization, they weren't alone. The Anunnaki, beings of enormous stature and incomprehensible power, descended from the stars. But they weren't the benevolent gods they claimed to be. Picture this: massive beings wielding technology so advanced it seemed like magic, constructing the pyramids not as tombs or monuments, but as weapons of unimaginable power. These structures weren't just architectural marvels. They were tools capable of manipulating the very fabric of our world, unleashing floods, fires, and earthquakes at will. Another race, the custodians, discovered our realm. These shape-shifting beings pierced through what they believed was a dome above their flat world, infiltrating ours with a different kind of warfare: deception. Where the Anunnaki ruled through brute force, the custodians conquered through lies and manipulation. Both races viewed humanity as nothing more than a resource to be exploited. And in one of history's most terrifying alliances, these two forces joined together, combining their different methods of control to strengthen their grip on humanity. But not everyone bowed to these self-proclaimed gods. Enter the Tartarians, a remarkable civilization of giants and brilliant minds. They possess knowledge from an age long forgotten, building their own advanced technology to resist both the Anunnaki and the custodians. Their architecture still stands today, though we've been taught to attribute it to other civilizations. The war that followed was catastrophic. The Anunnaki and custodians, facing real resistance for the first time, unleashed the full power of their pyramid network. Entire continents were reshaped by floods, cities were burned to ash, and earthquakes swallowed whole civilizations. The Tartarian resistance was nearly wiped out completely. In the aftermath, the victors did what victors do best: they rewrote history. The Tartarian legacy was systematically erased, their achievements attributed to others, their story buried under layers of carefully constructed lies. But they couldn't erase everything. The truth still whispers to us through ancient maps that don't match our history books, through mysterious texts that speak of impossible things, and through architectural wonders that defy conventional explanation. Today, these whispers grow louder as more people begin to question the official narrative. Could this explain the mysterious megalithic structures found worldwide? The inexplicable technological achievements of ancient civilizations? The strange gaps in our historical record? The truth is out there, hidden in plain sight, waiting for those brave enough to look beyond the veil of conventional history.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of conspiracy theories, or, so-called conspiracy theories that are pushed, that are psyops. And I think the Anunnaki one is probably one of them. I think the Anunnaki are just fallen angels or Nephilim beings, or, whatever, just like the Greek mythology and all of them, they're Nephilims, Nephilim giants. Or, something along the lines, fallen angels, Nephilim, one of the two. But I think just like with the flat earth theory, I'm not saying that the flat earth theory is wrong. I don't know. I think there's a lot of it that makes a lot of sense. I think it makes more sense than us being on a planet that's spinning out in a black void of space or whatever. I think space is water. But anyways, I think there's a lot of plants pushed out in the flat earth movement. And just like with most conspiracy theories, that they give a lot of insight. They act like they know a lot. And then, they're telling some truth with a lot of lies. Just like Alex Jones, he's COINTELPRO, he's a government agent, otherwise he would have fought when he was on trial. He would have just, he would have fought it all, but he didn't, and just there's a lot to it. So just be careful believing anything. I mean, me myself, I believe the Bible. I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. I look through things through a biblical perspective, and the way I see it, the Bible makes the most sense. Bible and even the extra biblical texts, the hidden books, the Apocrypha. I don't know about all of them, but some of them I do believe are they're scripture, but they were hidden on for a reason. Second Esdras, that book talks about how those books are for the wise. There's certain books for the saved and unsaved, and there's books for the wise, the hidden books, because the ones seeking out God, which I'm not trying to say I'm wise or anything, but I have looked into them. I've read some of them, but I'm not, you know what I mean. But so yeah, I think that the Bible makes most sense. I know some people will disagree with that, but I mean, you can have your opinion. I do hope that you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and what He did for us. I know a lot of people like Trump. I get it. I can understand they're hoping that somebody gets us out of a lot of the bad stuff that's going on. But they need to put their faith in Jesus, I think. But with Trump, I mean, I think people need to get out of the left-right paradigm, because, I mean, Democrats are doing crazy stuff, but Republicans aren't really stopping any of it. In fact, they're causing a lot of it. Have you noticed how much Trump's changed since when he was campaigning? Do you remember that poem, which is actually song lyrics, but he says it as a poem about the lady and the snake? You knew dang well I was a snake before you let me in. He's talking about himself. He's not talking about immigrants or whatever. Whatever the metaphor was with that poem. I mean, that's what he's talking about. He is a snake.
Disregard all the distortions and image artifacts caused by post-edition zooming, and pay close attention to how his head features suddenly change. His ears, his nose, his chin, cheekbone, jaw and mouth are no longer looking human at all. Matter of fact, now he has a blatant non-human face. So what just happened?
Yeah, descendants of the Nephilim. So, I mean, they're Nephilim. Or I know angels, right? They're spirits, but they can also take physical form. So I believe that means they can shapeshift. So I think some are fallen angels, but I also think the Nephilim, which are, the offspring of angels, fallen angels, and human women, I think they can shapeshift too, and I think that's what the lizard people are. Next clip. I hope that music didn't just mess up my video. But yeah, what do you think about that? That one's really weird. I don't know. I think it's about time people just stop following celebrities and these politicians because none of them are doing any good. If people just disengage, I mean, things could change. I mean, I know people don't really watch like the Academy Awards and stuff anymore because all the movies are bad. But yeah, I really wish people would stop worshiping or idolizing these celebrities and these politicians.
Allow the creation of a central bank digital currency in America. It won't happen. My first.
So I saw that clip on my Twitter timeline. I'm like, thumbs up, hell yeah. I'm flapping my wings like a bird because I'm like, we're free from the central bank digital currency. This is an actual win. And then a few moments later, I see the clip from his buddy, David Sachs. And this is what he said. Take a listen.
And now today, you have another historic legislative achievement that is a monumental step to fulfilling your promise to making the United States the crypto capital of the world. This Genius Act will unlock American dominance in the crypto industry by creating clear rules of the road. It will update archaic payment rails with a revolutionary new payment system. And it will extend U.S. dollar dominance, like you said, globally by creating a digital dollar that people all over the world can use.
Did you guys hear that? One more time.
It will extend U.S. dollar dominance, like you said, globally by creating a digital dollar that people all over the world can use.
So to me, that sounds like the same thing, just a different label. Instead of a central bank digital currency, oh, no, you're not getting that. You're just getting a digital dollar. Anyways, I was curious, so I went to ChatGPT and I asked it, I said, how exactly will our lives change with this new Genius Law passed and a digital dollar? And this is what it said. It said you'll still use dollars, but digitally. It said you won't stop spending money, but you'll slowly stop spending physical cash. It'll be fast, cheap, and convenient, but behind the scenes, every transaction will be logged, traceable, and potentially programmable, which sounds terrible. It says that pilot programs will start quietly. You might start getting offers like claim your $500 digital rebate, faster tax refunds if you sign up for your federal wallet, and it will feel like a reward, but it's bait to get you into the system early. I'm sure my audience will enjoy this one. We'll be nudged towards a digital ID, and to use the digital dollar long term, you'll likely need the KYC verification, your social security number, and possibly even biometrics, face scan, and fingerprint. And eventually the wallet will equal your ID. And once you're in, opting out becomes harder. Thumbs up. Next one, it says your money could be smart. Programmable money means that your funds could expire if not spent by a deadline. It could be restricted to certain merchants, items, or regions, or be frozen or limited based on government decisions or flags. So to me, that kind of sounds like if you get on their bad side, they could just freeze our funds. Think if you keep questioning about the Epstein files, your account's going to get frozen. If you keep, questioning why we send all this money to our greatest ally while we have a bunch of issues here at home, your funds will be frozen. Sounds great, doesn't it? Next one, it says surveillance will be built in. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Anything digital, they can basically see and flag you and watch what you're doing and spending on at all times. So good. Here we go. I'm sure my audience is going to absolutely love this one, and that is that they will have more control over us during emergencies. And think Palantir, they're going to have all our data. They're going to know if we're vaccinated, all this BS. And then they'll be able to say, oh, it's an emergency. There's a new pandemic. You got to stay home to stay safe. Hey, you, what do you think you're doing? We know that you're not vaccinated. Well, you're supposed to stay home and stay safe. And we see that you're trying to go to that bar, that movie theater, hang out with your friends. You're in danger. You're putting them at risk. Before, they couldn't really do much about it because you just use cash. Now it's all digital, what they're trying to do. So they'll just be able to shut your account down and you'll be screwed. And this is how it finished. It said, bottom line, this is what the Genius Act sets the foundation for: a compliant, traceable, and eventually programmable dollar rolled out by private actors just strictly to avoid the CBDC label. With government back-end control, it won't look like tyranny at first. It will look like innovation, safety, and convenience, but over time, it becomes a soft prison that you can't escape without being flagged. Anyways, guys, who cares about all that? Because the good news is, at least it's not a central bank digital currency. It's a digital dollar, which does the same thing, and we're still controlled, and there's still psychopaths, but it's a different name, a different brand, so everything's great. Thanks, Trump, for banning CBDCs. Awesome.
See what I mean? You knew dang well Trump was a snake before you let him in, which I don't really blame people. I mean, I used to like Trump. I used to think he was going to help people, but and I realized it's just both sides of the political aisle are no good. But yeah, I think people disengage and just don't agree to this. And then, I mean, what can they do? But I think it would take a lot, millions and millions of people to not go with it. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly what to do about it.
The Federal Reserve has announced that its FedNow instant 24/7 payment network will be fully launched in July. Now, this is widely seen as laying the groundwork of facilitating a CBDC, or central bank digital currency, also known as FedCoin. Now, generally speaking, a central bank digital currency is the digital form of a country's fiat currency. A CBDC is issued and regulated by a nation's monetary authority or central bank. It is programmable, so it can be modified to work or not work in certain transactions, and it allows authorities to monitor every single payment made and received, obliterating financial privacy and anonymity. Now, supporters of CBDCs claim that they will prevent money laundering, deter criminal activities, and help maintain law and order. They say that CBDCs will very importantly improve the speed and security of transactions, and that they can be used to fine-tune monetary policy and allow for financial inclusion. Critics, however, warn that CBDCs are the ultimate tool of control, censorship, and surveillance. Well, like it or not, 114 countries are already in various stages of developing CBDCs, including 11 countries that have launched theirs. And here in the United States, President Joe Biden, in March of 2022, issued Executive Order 14067, which facilitates the development of digital assets, including CBDCs. In November of 2022, the New York Federal Reserve launched Project Cedar to test a wholesale CBDC for cross-border payments. So are central bank digital currencies a way to facilitate more efficient transactions, or an Orwellian tool of oppression? And how does the FedNow payment system play into all of this, especially in the context of the recent major bank runs and failures?
See, this is this is like, I mean, this is what it's about for them, control. Like, some people think they do a lot of stuff, the elite, for money, but they can print money, they're all in their little club. And it's mainly about control, and they've already got a lot of control over us. I mean, just think about like with children going to school. You like some places, like they're not even taking, like you can only miss a couple of days and they'll call CPS and send you to a judge and all that. And I think that's ridiculous. I think, I think children should be educated, but I think first of all, the school system ain't right. It teaches a bunch of stuff, false history, teaches a bunch of stuff that they don't need. But I think there should be at least, at minimum, the kids miss 80 days maybe out of a school year, and then maybe you should get on to the parents, because that's a lot. But I think homeschooling should be more of a thing, if you're capable of homeschooling your children. A lot of people ain't capable of that because prices are so high, so both parents got to work. But yeah, I think this is just the digital stuff. I mean, I think they took away like in that last clip a couple minutes ago, where they're changing the digital currency. They're getting away from the central bank name of it, because a lot of people know central banks are a bad idea. Countries that resisted using a central bank were, destroyed, basically, or they were blamed for a lot of stuff. I don't know. It kind of just depends on the certain factors, but bad things happen when you deny a central bank. But yeah, I think, like I said, I think people should just not do the digital currency. I think they rolled out Bitcoin and all that because they allowed people to make, millions of dollars with the Bitcoin boom, and get people to where they want to use digital currency by allowing them to make that much money. I think a lot of it's psyops and planned. It's just planned,
Central bank digital currencies, the computer will know what it is you're trying to do before you even do it, and they will prevent you from doing it. If, for example, they say you can't leave your house more than 5 miles home, so many reasons. You lose cash, and this is what we must not let them do. When we lose cash, if we lose cash, and you've only got central bank digital currencies, the computer will know what it is you're trying to do before you even do it, and they will prevent you from doing it. If, for example, they say you can't leave your house more than 5 miles, you try and buy a bottle of water 6 miles from home, you won't be able to. I'm not kidding. So many reasons why you should retain cash. It's offensive that the politicians believe that they have a right to all of your information at all times.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Yeah, they're going to have complete control. I mean, I think, they can watch you through your phones and listen to you. I mean, otherwise, whatever AI they got wouldn't be able to pick up when, they have to be listening to you. In TVs, I know I've seen videos talk about it before where they can see you. So there's already a lot of control, right? And, like with the routers, they can judge where you're at in your house and get the layout of your house with your router. I think it'd be great if we go back to like the late 90s, early 2000s. I like that time period. I mean, I'm 36, so, that's when I was growing up, the 90s and early 2000s. And I just think the time period was better. I understand there's a lot of benefits to technology and the internet, but I think there's a lot of evil with it too. I know I'm using the internet right now, but I think I don't know. I just wish people connected more like they used to, and you could trust your neighbors better. And I think social media and the internet's had a big impact on people's lives. And I think once this digital currency comes out, and they don't allow cash, it's gonna be a bad deal for a lot of people. But anyways, I appreciate you watching. I'm very thankful for all the people that view these videos and watch them and comment. I know there's been some comments on some videos I haven't responded to. I'm trying to get better about that. Anyways, I appreciate your time, and God bless you.